Welcome to another episode of Behind the Wheel. We get the real deal.
Child support.
Behind the wheel.
Do they tell you that you owe student loans? Do they tell you if you owe doctor bills? Mortgage? How about traffic? How about, I remember Tahaka Bay mentioned this. Statutes on if you leave stuff out in front of your yard. Town ordinances. You owe any money or have you paid it? If so, how would you like to know? How would you like to get the information on how to wipe out the student debt? Or whatever proper term would be, settle what they say you owe on your student loan. Whatever it is. You want to listen to y'all want to listen to this video coming up. Very important. Free yourself. The stress of owing bills, things like that, utility bills and stuff. Listen to this message.
Everybody give me applause. I did it right this week. Okay, so Doug, did you just want to answer questions this week, or did you want to go over a couple things first?
I think we'll start with answering questions, and we'll see what happens from there.
All right, everybody knows *8, and that'll put your hand up so I can unmute one person at a time to ask questions. Okay, we have one here.
Okay.
All it's showing is Connecticut. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Bernice. I know a little bit about accepted for value. I've never done it, and I understood that this was going to be a call that teaches us how to do that.
Yes, or answer questions concerning it, yes.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to the explanation of what to do.
Okay, on debts, which are basically anything that you've been given credit for, like credit cards, mortgages, car loans, collection letters, bills from hospitals, student loans. These are all kinds of debts because somebody's giving you type of credit. And I consider those utilities as well because they're kind of a quasi-government creation. And whenever the government demands you pay something, they have to have a method for you to pay. So the accepted for value works on those things as well as court documents. And what you basically do is you write on the statement, accepted for value, exempt from levy. Then you sign your name and date it. Put your exemption ID number, which is your Social Security number, without dashes. Deposit to the Treasury and charge to your all-capital name and your Social Security number with dashes. If you have a voucher, if it's an IRS-related voucher, you can just put on there money order, and that's all you need to do. You can put accepted a warehouse receipt, is payment in full at the bottom or something of that nature, but it's not necessary. But marking that little voucher that they send into you is important to say this is a money order or money order. And then you endorse the back of it. If it's a non-IRS related issue, such as a hospital bill or something of that nature, then I'll take their voucher or their payment coupon or their stub or whatever you want to call it and put on their money order, pay to the United States Treasury. Then you spell out the amount of money, and then you write in numerals the amount of money, just like you would on a check. By, sign your name, authorized representative, Social Security number without dashes, and then endorse the back of that. If there is no voucher, then you find a page that has the amount of money that they're requesting. And then you take that and then do the accepted for value, turn it into a money order. You just treat the whole thing as if it's a voucher, and then you endorse the back. Did I make that clear?
Yeah, I wrote really fast. I don't know if I quite got it all. Is there any pictorial of this? Because I did this once. I did this with IRS, and I didn't quite know how to enforce it because I got back letters saying, that if I file any more frivolous papers, that I'll be fined $5,000 each time. And I quite didn't know or have any guidance on what to do, so I didn't do anything, further with that.
Okay. Your first part of your question was what?
If there's any kind of pictorial, because I remember...
pictorial. Yeah, you can get a copy of this from hjrbonds.com. They send them out free. There's no obligations. They don't put any advertisements in there. You just log onto their website under the Contact Us tab, and there's...
I did it through them. That's who I did it with a number of years back, and I just couldn't...
Well, then you might need an updated sample. I don't know if it's changed over the years, but you could ask for an updated sample. And do you remember where you sent that accepted for value?
I think I sent it to the, I did a bond also. I did both. And I sent it, the U.S. Treasury. I forgot the name of the guy that was in office, and if I heard it, I'd recognize it.
Paulson?
I sent it to them.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't send them to the Treasury Department, and I don't send them back to the office from which they originate. I send them to either the Ogden address, the Covington address, or the address in D.C. Those are the only three that I'm aware of currently that know how to handle accepted for values. If you get a frivolous letter, then it's probably because you got somebody who doesn't know what they're doing with them and thought that it was frivolous. Not that it was, not that you did anything wrong. You just sent it to the wrong guy.
Right.
Pardon?
Yeah, I understand that. I actually had conversations with them to advise them to research what to do with this. But it didn't do me any
Yeah, they're not really good about stuff like that unless they already know what to do with them. But if you send them to one of the three addresses, they pretty much know what to do with them. Occasionally you might get somebody who doesn't, like they hire somebody new or something and they haven't been told the secrets that they're supposed to take with to their grave. So it's just a matter of going to the right place. And that's why I often tell people, if one place doesn't work and you know you did it right, send it to the other address. When the next month comes along, you get a new one, send it to the other address. That way you're not dealing with the same bozo, because you don't know if they hired somebody new and they said, okay, you take all the people who have come in the last week or maybe whose last names start with, T or something, and then they take all these things and they come across and accept it for value and say, I don't know what to do with this. It must be frivolous. So they go over and do their job or what they think is their job and send you out a frivolous letter.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to.
With what I did a couple of years back, I can't take that and send a copy again. There's two things here with my situation. One, I settled on a significant amount of the tax balance because it's a long story. I settled on most of it. I still have, I don't know, maybe $10,000 left. So is there anything I can do to recover my settlement funds, or that's gone?
I honestly don't know. I have heard some people, when they've done this process correctly, they have received money that has been taken from them, that has been garnished or something along those lines, and sometimes they just get left alone. A few people get an occasional letter that says thank you, but I wouldn't expect that from them. So it's really hard to say whether or not you're going to get your money back. But the most important thing is to stop them bleeding you dry now. And
right.
Yeah, you can use an old one. You can use an old copy of one.
You're talking.
I remember here.
You're talking
Yep.
about an old copy of what?
A copy of your previous tax bill. You said you had one?
Yeah, well, I have the part that I settled on. I'm sure I have old copies of it.
Yeah, just take those old copies and do an accepted for value on it and send it to them.
Okay, because I had also done a bond, and that's what I got the frivolous letters from.
Yeah. The bond should have gone through, and I don't know what you do to enforce that either. I don't even know what you would do to enforce the accepted for value. It's just that I wanted to find a way that I didn't have to enforce something, that they would know what to do,